Alright, so I'm going to show you another example of a passive voice. So we have here, someone knew Mr. Myers' habits. So what is the subject and what is the object? Just pointed to that.
Right. The subject is someone.
Someone,
but
right.
The object is Mr. Myers.
Mr. Myers, yeah.
The object is, you said, what
Mr. Myers.
Yeah,
Mr. Myers' habits. So,
okay.
So Mr. Myers' habits is the object.
Okay.
And someone is the object. So, Mr. Myers' habits are receiving the verb, and the subject is giving the verb, right?
And which one again is the, so you have the subject?
Subject is someone,
and object.
Object is Mr. Myers' habits.
That's
Yeah. So, what do we need to do to this sentence first to put it in?
Make it passive.
Passive,
then you said we take the object and put it at the front.
Yeah, so move Mr. Myers' habits in the front.
And by doing that, we make the object the focus.
Yeah.
You say the more important.
It's the focus, yeah.
Yeah, focus.
Yeah. Alright, so the next thing we have to do is, so we have Mr. Myers' habits right here. Mr. Myers' habits. It's from when you wrote it before. And then we have, so we'll flip it over. How about you write it? Mr. Myers' habits.
All right. Myers.
Habits.
Habits. Apostrophe, right? Because these are his. Habits.
And then you have the be verb. And do you remember what we do?
Yeah, we talked about were or was.
Yeah. So, first, we'll just take it step by step. So, new is in the present or past? Did it happen today or yesterday?
If it's new, it's what's happened. Someone new.
So
someone
you
knows.
know now, and
someone
you knew
so
yesterday.
Yesterday, that's right.
Yeah.
It's past tense.
Past tense. So be needs to be in the past tense. Do you remember the past tense?
Was.
Yeah.
Or were.
Yeah. So because it's habits, you're one step ahead.
Okay. Because there's many.
Plural, right?
Okay.
So we have not was, but
were.
Yeah.
So Mr. Myers' habits. Oops. Were.
And then the past participle of.
So it's be known.
Known. Yeah, right. Known. And one other thing you can do, we talked about, is remember you can add by, right? By someone. So we do this when we know the subject, usually. So this puts the focus on Mr. Myers' habits, but we also know the subject. Okay. So we can say by someone. All right. Let's start on a game.
All right.
So last night, Mr. Body was murdered by something. We don't know what it is. So by a weapon. And we have the different weapons here. We have a rope, a candlestick, a wrench, a revolver, a lead pipe, and a knife. So those are our weapons. And then, whoops, I messed up. It's by a person with the weapons go with. So by, maybe by Mr. Green, or by Miss Scarlet, or by Mrs. Peacock.
Okay.
One of these people.
So by is who did it?
Who did it. With is what? With is the weapon.
Okay.
In a location.
Oh, I see.
And the locations, see, we have different rooms.
So we talked about in.
Yeah, in the bathroom, right. So here are the different places. So this, let's see. I think this is the billiard room. We call that the
Billiard.
billiard room because there's a pool table.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe this looks like the garden, maybe. And I think this is the ballroom where people dance.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So, and this is, what do you think this is? There's a table and a sink.
That would be the kitchen.
The kitchen, right? Yeah. And these are stairs. And this is a study room where people are studying.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And this is the lounge. It's where lounge is another word for relax.
Okay.
So it's where people
It's
relax.
a place to relax.
Right. And so here are the weapons. Oh, my computer's a little slow.
I see them.
Those are the weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is your job. Who murdered a Mr. Body? And you don't have a partner, so
Okay.
you need to make one active sentence, like someone killed Mr. Body,
Okay.
and one passive sentence. So yeah, but you need to make sure that you have the weapon,
Okay.
and the person, and the location. Here's a chart for you to use.
So I can use any room. Conservatory. What's the conservatory?
The conservatory. We did not go over that. That's a long word. I think. Oh, the conservatory was the garden. I think that's.
Okay. All right.
That's the conservatory.
Lounge.
All right.
Kitchen. Library.
Yeah.
Study. Ballroom. Okay.
Okay, so use these to make a sentence. Like this one. Mr. Body was murdered last night by person with a weapon in a room.
All right. So I can just simply write out, and this is an active sentence. Mr. Body.
Active. One active, one passive.
Was murdered. By, and then it's somebody, right? So I can choose anyone?
Yeah. Who looks like a suspect to you?
Well,
she looks kind of mean.
She does, or Colonel Mustard, or, this guy here. Mr. Green. We will choose Mr. Green. Mr. Green. So by Mr. Green, with, as by what happened, what they used, right?
Yeah.
Well, candlestick looks like a great weapon.
Ouch. In which room? What room do you think?
Murdered by Mr. Green with candlestick in, here's my list.
And, yeah.
Library. He must have been reading when that happened.
Yeah.
Quietly, and somebody snuck up on him.
Now remember, so these are nouns, candlestick and library. And before a noun, you have an article. Like
okay. By Mr. Green with
candlestick.
Not the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's
with a candlestick?
It could be any candlestick.
Okay.
It's not a specific.
Oh, I see. In the library.
Yeah.
Because that's a specific only one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to write that in there. Okay.
Nice. Okay, so.
The top. I'll take the top.
Oh, you have to write an active sentence too.
That
is a passive sentence. Now you need an active sentence.
So
So you need the
Some
person
I see.
giving the action
Okay,
and the
so it'd
person
be
receiving.
Mr. Green. Mr. Green murdered. Mr. Body.
I think it's been
With a candlestick.
it's been 10 minutes. So I'll stop now. Yeah. Hi.